Jennifer Van Damsel as the Punisher.
Just kidding, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hold on, I'm gonna stop that music now because it's no longer a thing. BRB. Okay, I'm back. So in this video, I'm going to share another recent photo shoot with y'all that I collaborated on with my friend Jennifer. You'll get to hear about the shoot, her character, the makeup look, and see some behind the scenes footage. But before I talk about the actual shoot, I just want to give you guys a backstory about me and Jennifer. So we've known each other since junior high, but we weren't really friends until high school. We went to prom together, we sat close in physics. In fact, she could have been the only reason that I passed physics. Just saying. Thanks, girlfriend. Appreciate ya. One thing I always loved about Jennifer was that she was super fun and colorful. She had the coolest nails, and she actually wore a lot more makeup than I ever did in high school. Like, she was a MAC girl, and I loved that about her. So, unfortunately, after high school, we'd lost touch, but I would always wonder what she was up to. And she never really seemed like the type that would have a Facebook, so I didn't think to look her up. But I saw her at a restaurant once, and I pulled out my phone and I looked her up. And to my surprise, not only did she have a Facebook, but she also had a fan page for her alias, Jennifer Van Damsel. So, after creeping a bit, I quickly realized how much of a badass she was in the Comic Con community. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically a series of conventions that take place pretty much everywhere, where people dress up as their favorite comic book characters and other aspects of popular arts, including films, science fiction, and fantasy literature. In layman's terms, it's a magical convention filled with fun and fierce costumes that one day I plan to attend, but until that day comes, I will just live vicariously through Jennifer. Once I realized how cool all of this stuff was, I just knew I had to get involved. I was so excited because not only had I reconnected with a friend, but she was even cooler than before, and I just knew our friendship was meant to be. I knew that between my makeup and her costumes, many magical situations would happen in our future. So, on to the shoot. Her most recent creation was her version of the Marvel Comics character named the Punisher. He is said to be a vigilante who employs murder, kidnapping, extortion, and threats of violence. Of course, being the creative mind that she is, Jennifer decided to mix that with a Mad Max / post-apocalyptic vibe and came up with her version of the character. Now, with this inspiration in mind, I decided, obviously, that this look called for an extremely blown out smoky eye. I didn't want anything to look clean about this. I was going for a grungy, dirty, hot mess that was still pretty, if that makes sense. This look took lots of time and tons of blending to achieve, but I was extremely happy with the outcome. This girl has got the best eye shape. Her bone structure is fierce and her skin tone is to die for. Like, seriously, I was living. Just looking at her face and her features are inspiring. Like, seriously, I cannot wait to do her makeup again. But for this look, what I did was I primed her eyes with an eyeshadow base and went to town packing and blending carbon eyeshadow from MAC all over her lid. And in hindsight, I should have used a black base underneath to make it easier, but I didn't, so it was a little bit harder for me to achieve that deep color payoff that I wanted. I made sure to use a deep matte brown in her crease to help with the blending. I absolutely wanted no lines of demarcation, which is always a goal for me, but this look especially called for a seamless application. My looks are generally super clean and crisp along the edges, usually with some sort of winged eyeliner, so it was a bit of a challenge in the fact that I actually had to think about what I was doing. Normally when I do makeup, I just kind of let it flow, but I had to make sure I wasn't falling into my normal habits when applying this makeup look. I wanted her brows to be fierce yet soft, so I applied a black eyeshadow with no base underneath. And her skin had to look perfect in porcelain, so I made sure to buff out her foundation and make her skin look absolutely flawless. I used a medium to full coverage and I just really built it, and I mean her skin just looked phenomenal. I then contoured her face using a stick foundation in a much darker skin tone. Her features needed to be extremely defined, so I applied this in all of the areas that I wanted to stand out, and then I blended them in just enough to where you could still see that definition, but it wasn't too prominent. I then added some blush just to give her a little bit of color, and of course we had to pop on some false lashes. Those do the trick every single time. So the last step here was the lips. I wanted a fierce and strong yet beautiful lip combo for this look. I took a black eyeliner and traced out the edges of the lips and then filled them in completely, which gave me a matte black base. I then added a beautiful purple iridescent gloss on top, and it gave it a very holographic sheen so that when she moved and in the lighting, it showed up beautifully in pictures. So here is the finished look, you guys. I decided to add a glittery pigment from Sugar Pill on top of the black matte eyeshadow just to give it a nice little sheen. And I also added a badass loose highlighting powder from MAC called Silver Dusk up on the high planes of her cheekbones and down her nose. I'm obsessed with the way this turned out in the photos. So stay tuned for some behind the scenes footage and the rest of the photos.
And here's us on the side of the road under the overpass. Just hanging out.
And then Jennifer just throwing some dirt on her, you know, just trying to make it look like she's real dirty and all that jazz. There were lots of cars around, tons of traffic up there, and people were honking and calling us losers. So we must have been doing something right.
It is hot as a bitch. And I'm melting, so I can only imagine that Jennifer is also melting. It's all for the cause. Also, I'm exhausted, and that's why I look the way I do. Just saying. Alright, we're done, peeps.
It is hot as fuck.
See? I told you. And Jennifer, how do you feel right now?
Really hot and hungry.
Alright guys, so that is it for the video. Here are the final photos from the shoot. I want to give a huge thanks to her mom for hanging out with us and getting some awesome pictures, and to Jennifer for serving up a badass realness for this photo shoot. The pictures turned out phenomenal, and guys, just wait for it because me and Jennifer and I, however it's supposed to be said, have got some awesome stuff in store for you. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and make sure you check out her page. I'll link that down below. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye.